If you've been paying attention to the news lately, you've probably heard two completely different stories about the housing market. One group says the market is about to crash. Another group says it's a great time to buy. And if you're a homeowner, buyer, seller, or investor, you're probably wondering, who should I believe? The reality is, most of what you're hearing is either oversimplified or designed to grab attention, because the truth about today's real estate market is much more nuanced than that. And honestly, that's exactly what makes it confusing. So in this video, I want to cut through the headlines and talk about what's actually happening in the market right now, what it means for buyers and sellers, and how to make smart decisions in a market that doesn't fit neatly into a headline. If we haven't met, I'm Shani Daigle, broker and owner of Champions Realty here in North Houston. I've been helping buyers, sellers, and investors navigate real estate for more than 20 years. And one thing I've learned is that the best real estate decisions usually aren't made by following headlines. They're made by understanding what's really happening underneath them. So let's talk about the market honestly, not from a fear perspective, not from a sales perspective, just from a reality perspective. Let's start with the question I hear most often. Is the market going to crash? Could prices decline in some areas? Sure. Have some markets already experienced price corrections? Absolutely. But a correction and a crash are not the same thing. What made the housing crash of 2008 so severe wasn't just declining prices. It was the combination of overbuilt inventory, weak lending standards, speculation, excessive leverage. Today's market looks very different. Most homeowners have significant equity. Most mortgages were originated under much stricter lending standards. And unlike 2008, we still don't have an oversupply of housing in many parts of the country. That doesn't mean prices can't soften. It means the conditions that created the last crash aren't necessarily present today. Now let's talk about the other side. Is this a booming market? Not really. Buyers today are much more cautious. Affordability remains a challenge. Higher interest rates have changed how people think about purchasing. And many homeowners are still sitting on low-rate mortgages they don't want to give up. So what we're seeing is a market that's moving, just not moving at the speed people became accustomed to a few years ago. Homes that are priced correctly and presented well are still selling. Homes that are overpriced often sit. That's a huge difference from the frenzy we saw during the pandemic years. Today's market is rewarding strategy, not luck. If you're a buyer, here's what I think you need to hear. Waiting for the perfect market is probably not a strategy, because there is no perfect market. There are always trade-offs. When rates were lower, competition was higher. Today, rates are higher, but many buyers have more negotiating power. We're seeing seller concessions, rate buydowns, price reductions, more inventory in some areas. Those opportunities didn't exist when buyers were competing with 10 or 15 offers. So instead of asking, is this the perfect time to buy? Ask, does buying make sense for my life right now? Those are very different questions, and often the second question leads to better decisions. If you're a seller, the biggest adjustment is expectations. Many homeowners still remember what happened in 2021 and 2022. Homes selling immediately, multiple offers, buyers waiving contingencies. But today's market requires a different approach. Pricing matters more. Presentation matters more. Marketing matters more. The homes that sell fastest are typically the ones that enter the market correctly from day one. The biggest mistake I see sellers make is assuming they can always reduce the price later. The problem is that the first days on market are often the most valuable. If you miss that window, it can be difficult to regain momentum. Here in North Houston, we're seeing many of the same national trends. Inventory has improved compared to the extreme shortages we experienced a few years ago. Buyers are more selective. sellers need stronger pricing strategies, and homes that are updated, well-presented, and properly priced are still attracting serious attention. What we're not seeing is one market. We're seeing multiple markets. A luxury market, a move-up market, a first-time buyer market, a new construction market. Each one behaves differently. That's why local expertise matters. National headlines don't always tell you what's happening in your neighborhood. So where does all of this leave us? The housing market isn't crashing, it's not booming, it's normalizing. And honestly, that's probably a healthier market than what we've experienced over the last several years. Buyers have opportunities, sellers still have opportunities, but both need a strategy. The people who tend to struggle are the ones waiting for perfect conditions. The people who succeed are usually the ones who understand their goals, understand their options, and make informed decisions. Because real estate isn't just about the market, it's about your life, your finances, your goals, and your timing. If you're wondering what your options look like in today's market, I'd be happy to help. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe because we'll continue breaking down what's really happening in real estate without the hype. I'll see you in the next video.